Okay, hi everyone. Today we'll be doing on FS, financial statement adjustment. So for financial statement, usually I like to call it FS for short. Okay, so before we jump into how to adjust the FS, so I'm going to run through two FS. Okay, and before we jump into the adjustment, I just want to do some quick revision. Okay, some quick revision. So for financial statements, we know that there are two types of companies we learn. That's the sole proprietor. Okay, sole proprietor. And there's company. Okay, so for O levels, you need to know how to prepare for both lah. Okay, so company, O level. Okay, for the N level people, you only need to learn up to sole proprietor. O level, you need to learn for both. Okay, so for sole proprietor, what is the equity equation? This one we need to know. Okay, it's very important. So we have capital plus profit. Okay, or minus your loss minus your drawings. Okay, so that will be your formula. As for company wise, it will be retained earnings plus profit or minus loss minus dividends. Okay, so this will be your formula. Then on top of that, for company, we have another layer of equity, right? Which is the share capital. Okay, so you have two portions for company. Okay, you have the retained earning part, and then you also have the share capital part. Okay, so you need to know this formula when we are calculating the equity section afterwards. Okay, so this is for equities. Okay, so this one is very important to know. Can? Okay, so aside from this, let's run through a little bit on the FS structure that we learned in this syllabus. Okay, so financial statement structure. So what is the two financial statement we learned? There's two that we learned, right? So the first one, okay, we learn statement of financial performance. Right, and then the second one is statement of financial position. Yes. Okay, so these two, let's break it down a little bit. What are the structure of these two financial statements? So for statement of financial performance, all the items that you are gonna see inside will be your income and your expenses. So this one we also learned before, right? Income and expense. You throw the two of them together, what do you get? Profit. Okay, or loss lah. So if your expense is higher than your income, then you will get a loss. Okay, so most of the time, income will be higher than expense. The money come in more than the money go out. So normally it's a profit. Okay, loss also can. So it depends on the question. Okay, so let me underline this so it's more neat. Okay, so basically all your items in your statement of financial performance will be all your income and all your expense. So at the last line, what you will have will be your profit. This will be your finale, what you are looking for in the statement of financial performance. We are calculating this profit and loss because we add all the income and expense inside. All I will get is profit and loss. Okay, as for statement of financial position, what do I get? I will have all my asset, all my liabilities, and my equities. Okay, so in statement of financial position, the three items I will have will be these three. Okay, so again, this ties back to my knowledge in the first two chapters, right? What's the accounting equation? A equals to L plus E. Okay, so A equals L plus E. And then for E, we also learned that we can further expand this formula, right? Okay, equity I can further expand, right, to capital plus profit minus drawings. Oops, minus drawings. Okay, so if it's a company, then of course lah. If it's a company, then it will be the retained earning plus profit minus dividend and the share capital part. Okay, so it depends lah. Right? Okay, so for the profit side, how do I calculate the profit? I will take back from here, my statement of financial performance. Okay, so I will take from on top. Okay, so basically this will be the structure. Okay, your performance, you will have your income and expense. These are the two things you will have in your statement of financial performance, and your statement of financial position. The three things you will have will be your A, L, and E. Okay, your E, I can break down to capital plus profit minus drawing. Profit I take from where? From performance previously. Okay, so these are more of the basic stuff that I just want to revise on. Okay, so a quick 10 seconds for you guys to digest this. So now that we have went through a little bit of recap, we can officially start to adjust. Okay, so just to let you guys know, for statement of financial performance position, FS in short, it will be a 20 mark question. Confirm will come out one. Confirm will come out 20 marks question in your paper 2. So confirm it will come out. Okay, so it will be all the chapters combined together in one question. So in order to do this question, you need to be familiar with all your previous chapters. Otherwise, it's impossible to do that. Okay, so let's start with, I'm going to start with this one first. Okay, so we are going to do two. One is a trading business and one is a service business. Okay, so let's start with the trading one first. Okay, the trading one will be the sole proprietor. Okay, so this one will be sole proprietor. The other one that we are going to do will be for company. So I'm going to cover for both. Okay, so when you first receive a financial statement question, what is the first thing you need to do? Okay, first thing you need to do, you need to label. Not sure how many of you have this habit. Okay, if you don't have this habit, I will urge you to start now. I will highly suggest that you start now, where you label all your items. Okay, and then you start lah. Okay, so I will just label really quickly. Okay, income, contra income. So also you all need to know what are these elements? What elements are these items? It will also come useful when you are doing your trial balance. Because in trial balance, you need to know, right? I put DR side or CR side. So you need to know lah. Okay. Yeah, okay. So cost of sale, expense, rent, expense, income, discount. So sometimes you will see things like that where it is not so straightforward. Okay, I just put here that discount. So here I need my knowledge already, right? DR, CR. So DR is an expense, CR is a income. Okay, so for here, this is both expense and income. So this one over here will be a discount allowed. This one will be a discount received. Okay, so again, this one ties back to your knowledge from your previous chapter. Bank loan, non-current liability, property, non-current asset. All of these are non-current asset. Accumulated D, this one is a contra asset. Okay, cash at bank. So whenever you see cash at bank, your eyes must be sharp. Your eyes must be sharp. Okay, your cash at bank, is it at the DR side or the CR side? So in this case, is at the DR side means it is a positive balance. If it's at the CR side, okay, this side here, then it will be a bank overdraft. Okay, bank overdraft. Okay, so for here, it will be a CA. So if it's happen to be at a credit side, it's a bank overdraft, then that will be a current liability. Okay, so move on. CA, CL, allowance, contra asset. Capital drawing, these two normally I will just label it as EQ, equity for short. Okay, so from now we are good to go to adjust. So for adjustment, I think I will use pink color, easier to see. Okay, so let's begin. Annual commission income 8,900. So what this means is that I want to make my commission income, my whole year commission income is 8,009. Okay, but right now my commission income is 5,002. So how to make it to 8,009? I need to add, right? Okay, so I need to add. So I need to add by how much? So I need to find the difference. Okay, so I will need to add 3700 to make it a 8009. Okay, so one tip is this: O plus P minus. Owing, you plus. Prepaid, minus. Okay, so owing, never pay enough, I add. Prepaid, I pay too much, I minus away. O plus P minus. Okay, owing plus prepaid minus. So in this case, okay, so this one is for income expense. In case you don't know what I'm talking about, this is for income expense. Okay, so for here, my commission income I plus, means it's a owing, it's an income that is owing. So what do you call an income that is owing? Commission income receivable. So I will come below here and I will create commission income receivable. Okay, so how much am I owing? 3,700. And this is a current asset. I will label the item that I create as well. So again, as you can see, this one is my knowledge on chapter 6 and 7. So if you don't know your chapter 6 and 7, please go and revisit it. I've made a class about it before. Yeah, so you're unsure, go and watch that lesson. Okay, so that's why you need to know. All this knowledge you will come into play all together. Okay, income owing is a income receivable. Okay, so first one done. Okay, rent expense relates to a 15-month ending on this date. So for here, my question to you is 1 year, how many months? 12. 12 months, right? I have 12 months in a year. So this guy, they paid for 15 months. So they pay extra how much? Extra 3 months. Am I right? So for here, again, my knowledge to income expense. What do I call an expense that I pay early? Prepaid expense. Okay, so for here, my whole year only got 12 months, but they pay all the way until 15 months. Means they pay extra. Am I right? Okay, they pay extra. So I will calculate here how much extra did they pay, which is the 3 months. Okay, so this will be called a prepaid rent expense. Okay, expense that I pay early is a prepaid rent. So to calculate this, I will take 3 out of 15, multiply by my rent here. Okay, 53800. Okay, so you go and punch in your calculator. You should have this amount. Okay. So this one is a CA. Okay, back to what we learned just now. Owing plus prepaid minus. Here is a prepaid. So prepaid minus. I will minus 1760. Okay, which is the 3 months. Okay, the 3 months. And so far so good. Okay, done. Next one, general expense, $500 was the owner's personal travel expense. Okay, so for this one, this will be on your chapter on equities. So owner's personal things. So whatever that I use in the business for own personal things, that is called a what? Drawing, right? Okay, so for here, this is a drawings lah. Okay, so for here, basically, I will add to my drawings. And then I will deduct it from my general expense. Okay, because this has nothing to do with the business. This is a drawing. Okay, so I take out from the general expense and I add to my drawings. Simple, this one straightforward. Okay, next one will be on your chapter on trade receivables, the one where you have write-off, which is also a lesson that I've done before. Okay, so basically this customer, he got bankrupt and no entry has been made. So this is a write-off. So remember, whenever you have a write-off, okay, you will minus from TR and your allowance. You always minus TR, minus allowance. Simple as that. You always, it's like that. Any write-off, minus TR, minus allowance. Why? Because this person is not paying you. You want to remove this person from your books. I want to delete already. Delete this person. So minus TR, minus allowance. Both is a minus, not plus, minus. Okay. Not paying me, I delete you. So minus, that's the logic. Okay, so for here, 2,100. So I will minus for both. Okay, so here, trade receiver minus 2,001. Allowance also minus 2,100. Simple as that. Write off, minus, minus. Next, review of TR showed that 5% of trade receivable might be uncollectible. So for this is the same chapter, TR chapter, where we will adjust the allowance. Okay, so adjusting our allowance is the one where we will draw arrows. I'm not sure you all still remember or not. Okay, I will draw the arrow. So I will have a current allowance and the ending allowance, right? So my current allowance, I will start off with my beginning allowance, okay, which is what I will find from here. So in the beginning, I have an allowance of 3878. Oops. Okay, 3878. What's another thing that I need to look up for when I'm calculating allowance? The write-off, right? So when I have a write-off, my allowance always decreases. Remember, every time write-off, allowance minus. So here we have someone write-off, right? So here I will minus 2,100. That will give me my current allowance. So how much allowance I have right now. Okay, so if you go and punch in your calculator, what you have, you will be 1,778. Okay, so currently I have 1,778 as my allowance. Let's calculate the ending allowance. So ending allowance is that at the year end, I have 5% of the TR. Maybe we cannot collect. So ending allowance, I will take 5% multiply by my trade receivable, which is this. So I will always take the updated amount. I will always take the updated trade receivable amount. So anyone that write off, I will deduct it away as well. Okay, so after you deduct that, you should have 4,8,540, which is times 5%. You should have 2,427, like that. Okay, so this will be my ending allowance. So let's draw the arrow. How do I go from this to this? I will have to add a 649. I have to add 649. So quick recap one more time. Okay, what do I call this 649? This is my impairment loss on TR. Am I right? Okay, this will be the impairment loss. Okay, so I will come down here and I will create impairment loss on trade receivable 649. So I will take the arrow amount, the difference, that will be my impairment loss. Okay, so impairment loss, this is an expense. Now that I create impairment loss, what is next? What is another thing that I must adjust? My allowance, because this whole thing is called what? Adjust allowance, right? The whole point of this is to adjust allowance. So adjust to what? To this amount, to my ending amount. So I want to change my allowance to my desired ending amount, which is 2,427. So come to allowance, cancel everything. I want my allowance to be 2,427. So whatever it is, at the end of the day, I just want to see my ending allowance is the ending allowance. That's all. Okay? So remember that whenever you are doing a financial statement adjustment, you always have to adjust two sides. You always need to adjust two things, edit two things. Either you create something here or you add and minus from anything from your trial balance. So every time, every adjustment, you must have two edits, two adjustments. I hope that makes sense. Okay, so this one is done. And now this is depreciation. I think it's quite straightforward. Okay, so here motor vehicle, we are gonna depreciate 20% on cost, and then features fitting, we will depreciate 15% on net book value. Okay, so for here, basically what they are trying to say is that on cost will just mean straight line. I'm using the straight line method to depreciate. Then they say they are gonna depreciate on net book value, basically just means your reducing balance. Your reducing balance method. Okay, so sometimes they will say straight line, sometimes they will say on cost. So you just need to know the English. Okay, so for here, motor vehicle on cost, I will come here and I will create depreciation on motor vehicle. Right? Okay, so I will take 20% multiply by the cost, which is this 83800. Okay, 20% of that, it will give me it will give me 16760. Okay, depreciation is an expense. So here I will add on to my acute D, right? I will add on to my acute D. So remember your journal for depreciation, also we learned about this before, right? Debit depreciation, credit acute depreciation. Okay, so for here, I create the depreciation and then I will add inside my acute depreciation. Okay, so it's the same thing here that we are doing. I will add on to my acute D. That's for motor vehicle. Fixtures fitting is on MBV. Okay, so again, I'll create depreciation on fixtures and fittings. So for here, this is 15% multiplied by my net book value. How to get net book value? Okay, net book value, a quick recap one more time. I will take the cost minus the acute depreciation. Okay, so you punch in the number, you should have 28,200. That will be your MBV. Okay, cost minus acute D, like that. And you should get 4230. So this one will be your depreciation on fixtures fitting, which is an expense. And I'll come back here to acute D again and plus 4230. Add on the depreciation to the acute D. Okay, simple. Following 5% interest on the loan to be paid in the have not been paid for the year ended. Okay, so this year we haven't paid our interest finish lah. So let's calculate how much is our interest lah. Okay, so to find the interest, still remember, to find interest, I will take the interest rate multiplied by the principal amount. So principal amount, basically the original loan amount lah. Right? Okay, so let's calculate how much is our interest. So let's go to the loan. Let's go to the loan. Our loan is 80,000. Okay, and just now we learned that our interest rate is 5%. So I will take 5% multiply by 80,000. Okay, I think I write. Let me see. A bit no space. Okay, so I will come here and I will create a interest expense, which is the 5% multiplied by 80,000. That will give me $4,000 of interest expense. Interest is an expense. Okay, $4,000. So for here, I can see from my trial balance that I don't have any interest. So I will need to create the account interest expense. And I know that it's 4,000. So I simply take the interest rate multiplied by the principal amount. Okay, so I will create this thing called a interest expense. Remember what I said earlier on? Every adjustment, I should have two. Okay, so here I know that I didn't pay yet one. So back to my knowledge on income expense, what do I call an interest expense? that I haven't yet paid that is owing. Interest expense payable. Okay, so for this one, I will create interest expense and interest expense payable. Also 4,000. Because I incur 4,000 and I also didn't pay the 4,000. Right? So this one will be a CL 4,000 also. Okay, I hope this is not too complicated for you to digest. Okay, done. Last one. 1/4 of bank loan to be repaid the next year because my year end at June. August will be considered next year already. Okay, so for this, you know it means you know it lah. Okay, so what do I call the loan that I'm gonna pay next year? It will be called current portion of long-term borrowing. Okay, so last one already, I will create here lah maybe. Okay, so it will be called a current portion of long-term borrowing. So 1/4 I'm gonna pay next year. So I know that my total loan is the 80,000, right? So next year I'm gonna pay 1/4 of it. So which is 1/4 multiplied by 80,000. So that will give you 20,000. Okay, 20,000. This is a current liability. It's a current liability. Okay, and then from my loan, I will deduct it from my NCL. So basically here, because I'm going to pay in the next 12 months, right? So I will take out from the NCL and put in the CL, current portion. Because this is the very basic knowledge, right? NCL, I'm going to pay for more than 12 months. Whatever I'm going to pay within 12 months, it will be a CL. So I take it out from the NCL and I put it in my CL. Basically just like that, simple. Okay. Okay, so we are done with the adjustment. So you should have something like this. Okay, similar to this. Okay, so in exam, the speed for you to finish your FS, okay, so you do the FS plus the adjustment, all of that, you should do it within 45 minutes. Okay, 45 minutes to finish everything. So in the case where in exam, you do not balance your financial statement, then just forget about it, just move on. As long as you finish it, then just move on. Doesn't matter, don't balance, doesn't mean no marks. Still will have marks, okay, just maybe not the full 20 marks. So don't bother to go and adjust. Just move on with the next question. And okay, so now we can prepare the statement of financial performance and position. Right. Okay, so for performance, the format, you just need to know it lah. This kind of things, I think by now you should be familiar already with the format. Okay, so here you will have your trading portion, and then you will have your other income less your other expenses, and then you will calculate your profit and loss at the end of the year. Right? Okay, so this is the format. You just need to know it by heart. Yeah. Okay, so why I asked you all to label here just now at the side, all of this. When you label, it's easier when you are doing your FS, because FS, you are doing it by section, right? So when you are doing your income here, you will go to here and you find all the I's, and then you throw here. When you are doing your expense, you'll come here and you look for all the E's, and then you'll throw here. So it's very straightforward. It makes your life a lot easier when you are doing. Okay, so here I will just throw in the numbers lah. Okay, so this is what you should get. Sales minus less sales, you get your net sales, and then you minus cost of sale, you get your gross profit. So every time you are done, another trick is tick the questions. Okay, so like this is done, I'll tick. So at the end of the day, when I finish, I want to make sure that all the items here, okay, including the one that I create, every item is ticked. Means that I don't miss anything out. Everything has been covered in my FS. Okay, so these are the small little tricks that you can apply. Okay, it's a small little trick, but it makes a lot of difference in making your life easier, okay, and getting your that full 20 marks. So it's very important to secure your 20 marks here. Okay, so this is for the trading portion. Then next one, we have our income, right? So income, in this case, I only have 2. So take note, this one, the discount received, I will take the credit side one, which is this. I will take the credit side. All right. So with that, that will give me a total income of 9340. Okay. So here, same thing, all the income done already, right? I'll take the incomes. Okay. And then next section will be expenses. Okay, so my expenses, I will list it out lah. So all the E's, I will copy and then paste here. Okay. I don't want to show the profit. Okay, so all of your expense, then of course you will come here and then you take all your expense line. Okay, so those one here also we can take it off already. Then lastly, I will find this thing called profit. Right, so profit, I will double line. So how to get the profit? I think by now don't need me to explain already, right? Okay, so I'll take my gross profit plus my other income minus my total expense. So plus this and then minus this, I will get my total profit. Okay. So here's a positive number, so it's profit lah. If it's a negative, then that will be loss. Loss for the year. And then I will put a bracket here like that. Okay, so that is for losses lah. Right. Okay, so for here, a lot of beginners, they will ask me why got 2 column lah, how I know when to put which column lah, all that kind of beginner question. Okay, so let me just cover a little bit here. So for the left-hand side is for me to list out the items. Okay, what I mean by that, take a look. So all my income, I list here, right, on the left-hand side. Expense, I will just list here on the left-hand side. Right? Okay, so after I list already, my right-hand side, which is here, is for me to total up the numbers. Okay, so can you see that? Can you see that over here? I list out here and then I will sum it up on the right-hand side. Same thing for here, left-hand side, I list out all these items. Right-hand side, I sum it up here. So why I do this? It will make things easier for me, right? So for here, when I sum it up, when I calculate my profit, I will just take this. I think I use another color. Okay, I will just take this amount plus this minus this. If I don't do that and I only have 1 column, right? Then I will just take 200,556 and then plus this, minus, then isn't it taking forever? Am I right? It will take forever. What? It will be never ending. So to make life easier, I will list them out on the left-hand side, right-hand side, we will sum it up. So in all, when I calculate, I will take the full sum amount. Okay, makes sense, right? Okay, so this whole lesson is about financial statements lah. Okay, so I just want to explain a little bit more in detail, cover everything. Okay, so that is all for performance. Next part, I will do statement of financial position. So you always do performance first, then position one. One more thing to know. Performance statement is for the year ended. For the year ended. But statement of financial position, it will be as at. Okay, so one thing to take note lah. Need to know. Statement of financial position, just like what we mentioned earlier in the recap, I will have my A and my L and E, right? A, L, and E. These 3 items will be inside my position. So I will always start with non-current asset first. So don't have Y, like you will just be like that. That's just the format. Okay, so you will have 3 columns for now. Okay, 3 columns. And these 3 columns, please spell it out, the full word in exams. Please don't write short form like me. Please spell the full thing out during exam. Okay, so for here, my non-current asset, I have this 3, right? Okay, so I will record this 3 together with its accumulated depreciation. So just like that. So essentially, I will just copy paste from the trial balance before. Okay, so how to get this net book value? Cost minus your cost minus your acute depreciation. So this is on your chapter 10. So this, or should I say this column minus this column. That's how you get your MBV. Okay, after your NCA, I will have CA. Okay, so same thing, I'm gonna come back here and then I will find all the CA, okay, all the CA, all the CA, and then I will throw inside the account. I mean, this section of this account, I'll throw inside here. Okay, so as you can see, this will be all your current assets. Okay, so you need to understand that after we learn trade receivable, this chapter, okay, you will realize that your TR and your allowance, they are always together. They are a pair. They are always together. So you show TR, you must show allowance also. Okay, then you will find your net TR. That's what I'm interested in. We will only report the net TR. Okay, so like what I mentioned just now, your allowance, 2427, right? I will always show the ending one. This 2427. I will always show ending allowance in my financial statement. I believe I've mentioned this in my lesson also in trade receivable, right? Okay, so basically all the CA throw inside here and then we are good to go. Then you will calculate all your total assets. So to find total assets, take this plus this. Okay, total assets, these two add together. So again, my left-hand side is for me to list out all the items. Right-hand side, I will add them up. Right-hand side will be the total. So at the end of the day, I will just plus the right-hand side. Same idea. Okay, that will be your total asset underline. Next, equities and liabilities. So I will start with owner's equity first. Okay, owner equity. So just now we did the recap, right? At capital, how to find the capital. Okay, so here I will write down the formula together. So my capital, it will be this capital plus profit minus drawing. So I have a capital of 197,000. Okay, so 1,097. Okay, plus my profit, which is here, this one, right? 56,951. And then I will minus drawings. So drawings, I know that I have some kind of adjustment, right? So drawings, total, my drawings will be how much? 5,600. 5,600. So this $500, it increased my drawing. So I minus more. Okay, minus 5,006. Okay, so your capital plus profit minus drawing. And then you punch in the number, you should have this in your calculator. That will be capital. Okay, next part, non-current liabilities. So non-current liability, 99.9999% of the time, will only have one thing lah, which is your loan law, your bank loan, your mortgage loan. Okay, usually only one thing lah. Okay, so for bank loan, mortgage loan, whatever loan, as long as you see the word loan, You see the word loan, you cannot write loan. You must write long-term borrowing. Okay, so you cannot write the word loan, you must write long-term borrowing. Okay, so be the 60,000 because we deduct off the current portion earlier, right? So 80 minus 20, I will get 60. Okay, here, 80 minus 20, overall loan, I will left with 60. Okay, straightforward. Next one, current liabilities. Same idea, I'm gonna come back here and find all the CLs and I will throw it in this section. Okay, so I will have something like that. Okay, so at the end of the day, I will need to find what is my total equities and liabilities because that's what this whole section is about. Am I right? Okay, so total equities and liabilities, I will have this. So same logic, how do I get this number? Okay, I take this, plus this, I will get this, right? So at the end of the day, I know that these two numbers, they must balance. They must balance. Okay, why? Because this is an asset. This is total L and E. So isn't this what we learned, right? A equals to L plus E, isn't it? That's why they balance. Okay, because this whole part here, this whole section, this is called asset, right? Then this whole section here, this is what? L and E. That's why they are balanced. A is equals to L plus E. Very simple as that. So the idea here is the same. My left hand side, I will total up. Right hand side, I will sum them together. So you can see that for these two, I don't have anything else. I only have one item. So I will straight away just put it at the right hand side here for these two. Okay, only one thing. So straight away right hand side. Okay, then same for CL, a lot of things. So I will list here on the right hand side and then I will sum it up here at the right hand side. Okay. So end of the day, this should be something that you should have for your position. So for questions like this, you take a lot of practice. So I will recommend that from now to O levels, you do one every week. So every week you do one financial statement. So this comes with practice. The more you do it, the easier it will become. So after a while, you'll realize that they are always asking the same few things. The questions are always the same. Okay, adjust income expense, then adjust allowance, adjust the write-off. Okay, your current portion of loan is always the same thing. Okay, and then calculate depreciation. After a while, you will get to the hang of it. So it really takes a lot of practice. Okay, so that's for trading. So trading, you will have this portion. Trading, you will have this portion. Next one that we are gonna do is not gonna have this portion because it's not trading, it's a service business. So I will talk about it on how we are showing and presenting for a service business. Okay, and the next one that we are gonna do is also not sole proprietor. This one is a sole proprietor. The next one we're gonna do will be on companies already. That is a company financial statement. All right. Okay, so now let's do for this question. Okay, like I said, this one will be a company level already. And this is a service business, so you'll realize that you have this main service and you won't see any inventory, you won't see any cost of sales. Okay, because service company, you won't have this. Service business, you won't have you won't have inventory, you won't have cost of sales. Okay, so let's begin. First thing, when I receive a question like that, label the items. Okay, revenue, income, cash at bank, eyes must be sharp. Here, debit side. So, okay, this is a current asset. It's a normal positive cash at bank account. Current asset, contra A, expense. Okay, this one, NCA, acute D, contra asset. Income, CL. Then here, same thing. I just put the word discount. So this discount is at the credit side, which indicate that it is an income. Okay, so this will be a discount received. So I can put here, discount received. NCL, then same thing, these two I will just put as a EQ. They are equities. Excuse me. Right. Okay, so with this, we can begin with our adjustment. Look familiar, right? Okay, rent expense relate to a 16 month. So same question I'm gonna ask. 1 year, how many months? 12. Here they pay up to 16. So means they pay how many months extra? They pay 4 months extra. Okay, so 4 months of extra. So what do you call expense that you pay extra? Prepaid expense. Okay, and then I will come back here and I will write this lah. Okay, O plus P minus. Owing plus prepaid minus. Okay, this rule applies for all. Right, okay, so a bit no space. I'll just create a side lah. Okay, so here I will create a prepaid rent expense. So that will be 4 over 16 multiplied by whatever rent I have, which is 72,000. Okay, so punch in your calculator. Should have 18,000. Okay, 18,000. So your this one will be a current asset. Okay. Go back to this rule, O plus P minus. This is a prepaid. So here I will minus the 18,000. And so this will be your adjustment for your first one. Next, commission income yet to be received. So what do you call income that you haven't yet received? Commission income receivable. Okay, so for here, they straight away just say already, so not much calculation to do. So I will just create a CA, commission income receivable. Oh, very cramped. I will shift it down here lah. Here. I'll shift here. Commission income receivable. Okay, which is the here 1,005 CA. So this one receivable yet to be received means what? Means owing or means prepaid? Owing, right? So O plus P minus. So here I will go to commission income and then I will plus the 1,005 because it's owing. You owe me, I plus. You pay me too much, I minus. Next one, payment for utility expense did not include for April. So here our year end is what? April lah. Okay, so they didn't pay until April. So what did it mean? Payable. They didn't pay. Okay, so here payable CL. Utilities expense payable. Okay, which is 5,570 also given. Okay, So this one is owing lah, definitely payable ma. So O plus P minus. So I will come here and I will plus 570. Okay. Straightforward so far. Same thing, declare bankrupt, write off law. So remember just now I say when you see the write off, you will minus trade receivable and allowance. Minus for both because it's a write off. So $900. So let's go to trade receivable minus 900, minus 900 here. Both I will minus. Minus from TR and allowance. That's it. Okay. Review of TR show that 8% of year-end TR might be uncollectible. So here is the one where we will adjust allowance. So you notice the questions that they ask are all very similar, right? Okay, so let's draw the arrows here where we adjust allowance. Okay, so current allowance, how much do I have right now? Okay, my beginning, I started with how much? 3,680. 3,680. Okay. Then during the year, we have this person write off, right? So I will deduct $900. So that will give me a current balance of 2,780. Then let's calculate our year end, which is 8% of the year end TR. So 8% multiplied by my TR, my updated TR. Okay, so my updated TR will be 54550 minus $900. Right, so that will give me 53650. Okay, multiply by 8%, 4292. Sorry. Okay, then from here to here, how do I move? How do I get to this amount? I will need to add 1512. Okay, so recap again. What is this? This is a impairment loss on TR. Okay, so let's come back to you know what, I will just create here lah. Okay, so this will be a impairment loss on trade receivable. And I will go to allowance and I want to change my allowance to the ending allowance of this amount. Okay, that's the whole point of this. I want to change my allowance. So I will change it to 4292. Okay, so allowance minus everything, I want it to be 4292. Okay, so my allowance 4292. Next, 20% of bank loan to be repaid next year. So again, it's the same thing as just now, right? What do I call the bank loan to be paid next year? Current portion of long-term borrowing. Okay, so let's create here. Current portion of long-term borrowing. So it will be 20% multiplied by my loan amount, which is here, 100,000. Okay, so it will be 20,000, my current portion. And then I will come back to here, my bank loan minus 20,000. So simply, I'm just deducting it away from my non-current liability and I add it into a current liability. Okay, this is a CL. So expense. Done. Depreciation. Let's do it on top lah. Okay, so here depreciation, I will create depreciation on motor vehicle and then depreciation on fixtures fitting lah. Okay, so for depreciation, this one motor vehicle, I'm using 20%, reducing balance, which features fitting 10% straight line. So for this one, the phrasing, they give the actual phrase lah, reducing and straight line. Okay, so motor vehicle, reducing balance. So first I need to calculate the MBV, right? So I will take the cost minus the acute D. So let's calculate that. That will be 29280 minus 29280. You should have an MBV of 1,16720 multiply by 20%. So you should have 23,344. Okay, your depreciation for motor vehicle. Okay, fixtures fitting is on cost. So I will just simply take 10% multiply by this amount, 47700. Okay, so these two will be my depreciation. Then I will add on to my acute depreciation. Add them inside my accumulator. Every year I will keep on adding and adding to my acute D, right? So plus 23344 and then plus 4770. Add them. So don't add in the wrong one. So motor vehicle, add in motor vehicle, fixtures fitting, add in fixtures fitting. Okay, so done for depreciation. Next one. So this is on company lah. So this one, the last adjustment, this one, the NA students, you all will need to know lah. Okay, but you all can still good to listen lor. Okay, in case you all are gonna learn this next year. Okay, so here I declare dividend 10 cents per share, paying next year. I'm not paying now. So what do I call this? A dividend payable, right? I declare, but I didn't pay now. I pay in future. So dividend payable, right? Okay, so for here, I already know that dividend, I will definitely minus from my retained earning. Remember from the formula earlier? Retained earning minus dividend. So I know that definitely I will minus from my dividend, my retained earning. So up to you whether you want to straight away just deduct from here or you want to create a whole new account called dividend. So for me personally, I will just straight away deduct from here lah. Right, I will just straight away deduct the dividend from here. I don't create a new one. So up to you, both is the same. End of the day, you still have to deduct from your retained earning. Right, okay, so let's calculate how much this is. 10% per share. How much shares do we have right now? I have 50,000 of shares right now. Okay, so my calculation here, I will just take 50,000 of shares, multiply by 10 cents. So that will give me $5,000 of dividend. Okay, so for here, I will just straight away deduct 5,000. Because I will straight away minus dividend. Then this dividend, I'm not gonna pay now, right? So this one will be a dividend payable. So I'll create a dividend payable 5,000. Okay, and we are done. Right, so now we can do up the FS already lah. Right, so for, like I said, this one is a service business and this is a company. Let me just write here. This is a company. So the earlier one that we do just now, that is a sole proprietorship. So for now, we will do company and this is a service business. So for service business, like I said, there's no inventory. no cost of sale. Straight away, I will just take this. I will just take like that, the first line. Okay, my first line will just be the whatever service that I'm earning. Okay, so like that. Just this one line, that's all. So for here, this is a consulting company. So their main source of revenue will be consulting fee revenue. So depends on whatever whatever business that you are doing. So here you're doing consulting is your main income. Your first line will just be like that. You're doing tuition center, then tuition fee revenue, your first line. Right? So your service business, it will just be one line only. There's no sales revenue, that kind of thing. Can? Then same thing lah. The rest of the FS will still be the same. At other income, I have these two things. Okay, so basically I'll come back here, find all my I's, and I will tick. Copy, paste here. Then next one, I have my expenses. So here I will add in all the expenses that I have, right? And then I will list it out. And then like what I said earlier, right? Left-hand side, I will sum it up. I will list it up, and then the right-hand side, I will sum them together. So same idea lah. Everything else is the same lah. Nothing much changes, okay? And then I will find my profit. So how to find profit? This plus this minus this, I will find my profit. Okay, so straightforward. I don't think this is very complicated. Okay, the only thing that changed is just the first part here. You just change everything to just one line. So let's move on to position. So let's recap again. Performance for the year ended. Position is a asset. So do take note of that. Okay, position, like I said, we always start with NCA first, right? So NCA, I have 2, and then I'll always have these three column. So in exam, so please spell out the full thing lah. Don't be like me, write short form. Please spell the full thing out. Okay, so cost, acute D, MBV. Same thing, I will just take from here. Done, tick. Okay, just all the expense are done, right? So tick. Then you'll get your NCA. So we'll only be interested in the MBV lah. I'm only interested in the MBV. Next portion will be current assets. So current assets, I will pull out all the current assets that I have. Okay. All my current assets. So remember that my trade payable will always go with my allowance. I'm only interested in my net trade receivable, what I think I can collect. Okay, so same thing, everything here, I will list out on the left-hand side, and then I will add them on the right-hand side. And then I will be able to calculate my total assets. Simply take my non-current asset plus my total current asset, and then I will get this total asset. Straightforward so far. So you'll realize that really, as you just keep doing on and on and on, you'll realize the steps, the procedure, they are more or less very similar. Yeah, so try to do once every week. Then by the time when you are doing your actual O level, you will be able to secure that 20 marks easily. It's not that difficult actually, okay? So done with the asset section. Second portion, it will be equities and liabilities. Okay, so for now, since this is a company, right? It's a company already. This is not a sole proprietor. Now you notice that it is shareholders equity. Shareholder equity, no longer owner. So the previous one just now, that was owner equity. Now it is shareholder equity. And I will have two lines. Okay, two lines here. So the retained earning, quick recap again. I'll have your retained earning plus profit or loss, and then minus my dividends. So that will be my working for here. Okay, and then I will list them out. So for company, yeah, your equity, you have two lines. For sole proprietor, only one line. Can? And so I think this is quite straightforward. And take note that you should always say how many numbers of ordinary shares. So shares, there are many different types of shares. There's convertible shares, there's preference shares. Okay, so for these labels, you guys are only learning on ordinary shares. So please spell it out. The number of shares, ordinary shares. Yeah. Okay, and then remember to sum it up. So here I list out, and then right hand side, sum it up together. Next up, non-current liability, where I will have my long-term borrowing. So again, loans. Okay, here I have the loans, right? Where is it? Here, my bank loan. So whenever you see the word loan, okay, we don't write loan. Okay, loan, we don't write. I have to write long-term borrowing. So this one will be the 100K minus the 20K. And then I will get 80. Okay, next part, last part, it will be on current liabilities. So same thing, come back here, find all the CLs, copy, paste over here. List it out on the left hand side, and then right hand side, I will sum them up. List, and then sum on the right hand side. Okay, so total, you will have this. So how do I get my full equity and liabilities? This plus this plus this, I will get 290,87874. Okay, so likewise, these two numbers, they have to balance. Yeah. So end of the day, the concept is still the same. The concepts are still the same. This is my total asset, right? This is all my asset. This is my equities, right? So my A equals to L plus E, isn't it? Same concept. Everything you learn, you will all tie up together. Okay, so here A equals to L plus E. Okay, then here my profit. How do I get this profit? I take from my statement of financial performance. Yeah. So simply that's all for adjusting of financial statements. All right, so since we have a little bit of time left, I think we can talk a little bit more on the trading versus service business. Okay, so just now I talked on the 2FS and the equity statement, equity formula. Let's talk about service versus trading. Okay, so for trading business, you will have your sales revenue, Okay, then your sales return, and then you will get a net sales. And then from there, you deduct your cost of sales, and then you will get your gross profit. Right. Service wise, don't have so many things. Only one line. So for the whatever revenue. Okay, service fee revenue, tuition fee revenue, advertising fee revenue, whatever that your main business is providing, right? Okay, so these are the FS. Basically, that's all you gotta know. Okay, another thing that they can ask is like in theory wise, they will just ask in theory and then you will just answer in words. What is the difference between trading and service business? Okay, so for trading, your business buys and sell goods. Okay, service business provides service. That's all. That's how you answer. It's as simple as that. Oh. Okay, and then last 10 minutes, maybe we'll just do a quick revision on the adjustments. Okay, so for income expense wise, you need to know O plus, P minus. Owing, I will add, whether for income, for expense. Okay, so for income that is owing, it will be a income receivable. Expense that is owing, it will be a expense payable. Okay, then prepaid, it will be less. I will minus it. Okay, minus or less lah. Okay, so income that is prepaid, it will be income received in advance. Okay, expense that is prepaid, it will be a prepaid expense. That's all. So as you practice more and more, you will get the hang of it better. Okay, next one will be on loans. Okay, normally loans. Okay, loans, first of all, you do not write the word loan. Okay, you write the word long-term borrowing. That's the first thing you need to know. Okay, then for amount that you're gonna pay next year, okay, you will just take it out as a non-current, what am I writing? Current portion of long-term borrowing. Okay, so essentially this one is your NCL and this one is your CL. So you just speed it up. The amount that you're gonna pay next year, that is within 12 months. So that one will be a CL. And for TR, your write-off, you need to remember that you will have to minus TR and allowance. You always just minus these two. Minus off. Then when you are adjusting your allowance for impairment of trade receivable, I will always have to present the ending allowance in your FS, in your statement of financial position. I will always take the ending, okay, the EA amount, which is this one. I will always take ending allowance. Okay. Same for here. I'm only interested in the ending allowance. Okay, so pretty much that is all that you need to know for adjusting your financial position. So please just go and practice more, and then you will get the hang of it. Yeah. Okay, and for company equity side, shareholders equity. Okay, so these are the things that you need to take note of lah. Okay, then for sole proprietor, it will just be owner's equity, and then you will realize that it's only one line here in my capital. Okay, so pretty much that is all from me for adjusting of financial statement. Okay. Okay, thank you for watching.